Hello friends and welcome back to my homestead. Today again we're in the kitchen because we are making peach salsa. This is a season for peaches. So we have harvested these beautiful peaches from our peach tree, and I have to be honest, we had a rough year for peaches. The squirrels were stealing them left and right, and this is only 1% of what we expected to harvest, but it is what it is. So I'm going to be making peach salsa. There are many other recipes for peach salsa. Some of them call for salsas with tomatoes, without tomatoes. We prefer the recipe with tomatoes. So for my recipe, and as you can tell, I have a lot of ingredients here. It's because I'm going to be making a lot today. But for one batch, for one recipe of salsa, this is what you need. You guys ready? Get a pen and paper ready. Okay, we're going to need 9 cups of freshly peeled and chopped peaches, and then we're going to cover that with 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You may use store-bought. I'm going to be using fresh lime juice. Chop that up and cover with lime juice. Let it sit while you're working on the other stuff. 4 cups of fresh peeled and cubed tomatoes, 2 bell peppers, and 1 red bell pepper. 2 cups of sweet onion, but you can use any onion you prefer. You may have red onion, whatever you like. 2 cups. Half a cup of jalapeno, or I'm going to be substituting with 1 poblano pepper. And I like poblano peppers more even than jalapenos, even though it's whatever you like. It's because poblano peppers have that mild heat rather than just crazy spice. Okay, so 1 poblano pepper or quarter of a cup of, or half a cup of diced jalapeno. Also, I'm going to be putting in 1 of these hot, funny looking peppers. I don't know the name of them, but I know they're hot. Quarter of a cup of French cilantro, and I have a lot of cilantro here I have to chop up. Quarter of a cup. 1 cup of vinegar, 5% vinegar. 3 cloves of garlic, fresh garlic. 3 to 4 tablespoons of sugar or honey. You may use 3 or 4, so see how it goes for your taste. 3 or 4 tablespoons of sugar or honey. 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, but again, you have to taste it and see what you need. You may also add crushed red pepper or cayenne pepper if you like very spicy. I'm not gonna add that today. And you probably guys have heard me when I made other salsas. I have a recipe of corn salsa. I don't like runny, loose, kind of like watery salsas. I like them thicker. And unfortunately, many salsas purchased at the store, commercially made, have thickeners that we don't even know what they are. I like to thicken my salsa and my sauces with tomato paste. So for one batch, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So those are my ingredients. So I'm going to be chopping everything, and I will meet you in a minute. Okay, so we peeled and chopped all of our peaches, and now I have to cover everything with 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So I'm just going to sprinkle that around and just stir everything up. All right, I'm going to keep working on the rest of my vegetables. So I'm just chopping my peppers right now, and I'm using this wider grid, using this nifty little machine that my kid's given me. It's much faster than doing by hand because, like I said, I do like my salsa to be chunky. So I have a lot to do. Look at that. I'm wearing gloves because I'm dealing with some spicy ones. And I do not want to touch my face, and definitely not to touch my eyes. Much faster. Look. To use quarts, but you can use pints if you like. But it's going to be wonderful to serve later in the season when all of the fresh produce has come to an end and the gardens are empty. It's going to be wonderful, wonderful salsa. Now, this salsa can be served fresh, just like this. After you added all of your spices and vinegar, it can be served fresh. And my family loves this salsa to be served on top of fish, chicken, or even eggs. I'm not kidding, morning eggs, and that's how they like to eat this salsa. So I'm gonna bring this to boil and cook it for about 15-20 minutes. Wow, this is amazing. So this salsa has come to a boil, and I'm gonna put the timer on to boil this for about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but I think 15 minutes will be enough. And in the meanwhile, I will have my jars ready. I will wash them in hot water, soapy water, and I will sterilize them and get everything ready for canning. This is so wonderful. It smells so wonderful. Before I can it though, I will taste it a little bit because I want to make sure it has enough spice, has enough sweetness, has enough saltiness. So I will taste it right before I actually can it. Okay, so this has been stewing, or whatever you want to call it, cooking for about 15 minutes or so. And we tasted it for salt, and my family wanted me to add a little bit more salt, so I put about a teaspoon or so of salt, and otherwise it's fine. It's delicious. So I'm gonna be jarring. So I like to, this is what I like to do. I like to bring all of my jars, they're hot, they've been sterilized. I like to bring them closer to the pot where it's cooking, because I don't take it off the heat. It's continued cooking, so I am jarring everything literally still hot. So that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. All right. So just remember, friends, when you are canning, hot content goes into a hot container. Because if you try to put a hot content into a hot container, it will crack open and you're gonna lose. So I'm gonna leave about half an inch to an inch of headspace. And again, just to review what that means, it means the space from this little ring lip to the top. So that's how much space we're gonna leave open, okay? So I'm gonna use this real quick. And that just helps to move any kind of bubbles that might have hidden in a jar. And when you do that, very often the liquid actually goes down to where it should be. All right, so let me keep jarring all of my salsas here. They are beautiful. The kitchen smells heavenly. My family's been eating it already, and I just hope that I have enough for canning. Well, obviously I do. I have a lot here. But it is a wonderful way to preserve food, healthy food with no additives and very clean ingredients. And you can control what ingredients goes into your food. So this is a wonderful way to feed your family today, tomorrow, or even, 12 months later. It will be perfectly safe to be stored on a shelf in your pantry. Okay, so the last batch of salsa is still in the canner and should come out in the next 7 minutes. But not everything fit in a large jar, so I've decided to give it a taste. So I'm gonna put it in a cracker and just to give it a little taste. I wanna see how it is. Sweet, spicy, sour, little tart. It's perfect. This peach salsa is perfect. And my daughter is right when she asked me, Mama, make sure you make salsa, peach salsa with tomato. It gives that good tart taste to it. So my friends, I hope you are encouraged to make peach salsa. It is peach season, at least in my area where I live. I know it's different in other places. But please, try to make your own food at home and preserve it for the future, because when in abundance today, preserve it away, save away for tomorrow, for the future. So be encouraged and try something new.